Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Crush It in Sales podcast. And thank you in advance for joining me. I'm going to just dive right in. And this week, I want to talk about being flexible and the importance of building awareness that sometimes you need to be able to operate in gray. What does this mean? This really feels in alignment with talking about the fact that we have a new year quickly upon us, 2022. And have you ever heard that saying, best laid plans? It's as old as the hills. I should have Googled to see where that originally stemmed from. I might do that afterwards. But often we have these plans, these goals, and sometimes they don't work out. They don't work out as we envisioned them to work out, and we planned them and we counted on them. Oh gosh, how many times that's happened to me. I counted on this. I thought this would happen. I did all the things, and it just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. So this podcast may be a little bit gray in that maybe it should be more in line with the Good Karma Success Coach podcast, because it's going to venture into a thought process and a vibe about the universe. But I do believe that more and more successful entrepreneurs, businessmen and women are understanding that there is a synergy, there is an energy between ourselves as humans and the universe. There just is. And I can't always hide that in my podcast, right? So I am going to share thinking about your sales and your sales goals and plans in conjunction with just reality of how sometimes it doesn't freaking happen. I remember when I was a buyer in the corporate world, and I was a buyer and a planner for a few years. So I like to just say buyer because it keeps it simple, for 16 years. And every year it was the biggest project, the biggest undertaking. And this was at any company I was at, any of the corporations, to put together your plan for the next year, right? And I love numbers. I love digging into numbers. I love analytics. I love stats. I don't love it to some extreme that I spend hours and hours on it. I think I'm really balanced there. I'll look at stats and then I move away. But I do really like to see it. It's fun. But there is an aspect of putting things together and then who knows what's going to happen. Things really take its own form. And I remember when I was a buyer, this was way before I was where I am now in terms of knowing and my intuition. But I would sit in these meetings and I would think to myself, gosh, my boss, my DMM, or the VP of planning, or whoever it was, is really going way too far with nitpicking at every little number. And often as a buyer, then you'd have to go back and then there'd be back and forth and then another meeting. And I intuitively knew that at the end of the day, I could sit and think I'm going to sell 5,000 units of red pajamas, but it might be 4,000 or it might be even more. I might have to reorder the red pajamas 3 times, right? I can plan and put something out there, but at the end of the day, it's kind of out of my control. It really is. And it would kind of drive me crazy a little bit that so many people would spend so much time on some of these little details. And I was like, let's put a plan together, because I do believe in plans, but let's put a plan together and let's just roll. Let's take action. Let's see where it takes us and let's learn from it and tweak and pivot from there. We don't need to be spending all this time on these numbers because at the end of the day, again, we have no control. Before we get any further into this podcast, I want to jump on really quick and chat about Ana Luisa Jewelry. ANALUISA. If you've listened to some of my previous podcasts, either Crush It in Sales or the Good Karma Success Coach, you know that I am over the moon in love with Ana Luisa Jewelry. I am still wearing my Wanderer ring. It's amazing. It looks brand new. The Donna stud earrings are my go-to. I also have fallen in love with the Hannah sunset earrings, and the Elise earrings and pendant are just so sophisticated, classy, timeless. And for the holidays, they've put them together in a gift set. So Ana Luisa Jewelry is perfect for yourself. If you're like me, you always need to buy a gift for yourself or to gift to someone else. They have new releases every Friday. It's a sustainable line. The prices start at $39. And the link that I will put in the show notes, continue to check it out. They always have specials and deals, which in my opinion, they don't even need to do. The jewelry is amazing, but they do. So take advantage of whatever specials or deals they have and go to Ana Luisa, ANALUISA.com/Melinda or use the link in the show notes and check it out. You will not be disappointed. I love this line. So when I look back now at 50 years old and being out of the corporate environment for, we've been in the Keys for 12 years, so definitely 12 years, I go, hey, it's pretty amazing how intuitive I was about the whole process. Because in hindsight, I really didn't have the perfect number. We didn't land exactly on that number. We put a plan into action and we took action every day. But at the end of the day, it always varied. The numbers always varied. They always did. Then I remember going into my first sales position when I was with SingPath, which I've written about in both of my books and talked about on other podcasts. And that was the Hong Kong-based manufacturer. And I had to do everything from scratch with no account base. And my left brain was so focus, hustle. I was so in that masculine energy mode. And roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, nothing worked out. Ended up leading me to many breakdowns, many extreme breakdowns, and ended up having to quit after 2 years because I just wasn't seeing the momentum, right? The next sales positions that I went into after that, I approached with a whole other mindset and energy level. And honestly, I really don't know how that occurred, maybe just my knowing and intuition. But I approached it from a place of, yes, doing the work, yes, taking action, but having fun and really having less of an expectation of the clients. See? So I let go of the expectation of the clients. Whereas in the first sales position with SingPath, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make this much money from this client, and this from this client, this much from this client. I was really in my head, kind of creating this ledger, I guess you could say, right? Thinking, oh my gosh, if all this comes true, then this is how much I'm going to make. And none of that worked out. And it caused a lot of frustration and pain and tears. Sitting on my beach where we used to live crying, sitting at the Rock at Harry Harris Park crying, constantly crying. And then when I switched into being a multi-line sales rep and I let go of the expectations, and if someone told me no, or if someone said, come back in a few months, or if someone said, I'm interested, but not right now, whatever happened, if it was a no, I was like, okay, sure, I'll call you back. And I did. I took the action. I didn't not take the action. But I approached it with a different energy. I was just having fun. And I just saw the world as my oyster of okay, whatever happens, this person's going to buy from me, they're going to buy from me. If they're not going to buy from me, they're not going to buy from me. And I just keep going. right? I just kept going. So then in a very short amount of time, once I figured out some things with Florida and how season was and what lines worked, because that was definitely just a part of the equation that you may or may not have to deal with in your business, but it was part of the equation I had to deal with mine, with building this sales business from scratch. Everything like came together. It just came together. And then before you knew it, I had like these really nice paychecks. And before you knew it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I hit that amount this year in sales. And it just all came together. So what's really interesting is I was having a conversation with someone this past week, and they were telling me their goals, which is totally fine. You know, again, you have to plan, you have to have some type of goal, and you have to plan. But at the end of the day, for the most part, you have to just take the action and know it's going to come out a little differently. And I'm not saying this person didn't have that. It just made me think of it, right? It just made me think of it. So, and it was after the phone call, I just sat and was like, gosh, I remember how my energy was between the two different sales positions. And I remember what it was like to be in corporate America, and how I thought to myself, sitting in those boardrooms, like, oh my God, I can't believe we're deliberating this much over something that I really have no control of at the end of the day. And those things, those thoughts, those memories all came together. And they helped me just open my eyes and have like awareness around even my behavior now, even things I could tweak now, even things I could talk to my husband about now that are going on in our business. Like, hey, we can make a little tweak. We can make a little shift here. We can make this little baby shift and see what happens, right? So I challenge you today, after you listen to this podcast, sit and think about it. Think about your business. How are you approaching it? How is your energy? What are you doing? And are you taking action? But are you taking action from a place of like having fun, right? And having a goal, but knowing that it might end up differently, and being okay with that and moving and grooving? Or are you taking action from this, oh my God, this needs to work out and I need to sell this much and this much by this day? Because that energy, I don't know, didn't work for me. And I don't think it works for many people. So sit today and think about that. As again, we're going to be heading into 2022. These are really important shifts for you to make that not a lot of people put the context around. They may dance around this topic, but they probably haven't experienced it to this level to give you this example so you can sit and go, oh, yeah, that's how I've been acting in my business. Or have a memory like these memories that I'm sharing where you can then draw. It's so important to have these memories where you can draw upon and refresh your mind and just bring yourself down. Really, like you're coaching yourself in your brain. We all have it within us to be able to do these things, but you have to have the awareness and stop running on autopilot in order to do that. So I hope you love this podcast. Please also check out Good Karma Success Coach podcast. Again, some of these topics run parallel, and it's kind of funny. I really don't know anyone else out there that has two podcasts. I don't know. But anyhow, I love recording podcasts because it's just how things come through me. And yeah, listen to both so you can draw the synergies and connect the dots and follow the breadcrumbs, because I am someone who has that background. So I love to share it and help others. So speaking of sharing and helping others, also check out Supercharge Your Transformation, which is a pre-recorded course that is on the front page of both of my websites, melindavanfleet.com and beyondbasicscoaching.com. And I will put the link in the show notes. It is an amazing, transformational, again, pre-recorded, so you don't have to wait for a Facebook Live. You don't have to be told, be on the live so you're in my energy, when really that's helping someone's algorithm, which is all fine. I don't really care, but I like pre-recorded things just as much as lives, because yeah, if you get up early in the morning or late, or you fit it into your schedule, and that's what's really important. Do what feels good for you. So this pre-recorded program is probably in total 3 hours long. Maybe it has some worksheets, nothing too crazy or overwhelming, but some worksheets so you can get your thoughts around it. And it's really getting inside my brain on more tips and tools and things that have really helped me move forward very quickly. And I'm sharing them transparently with you. So Supercharge Your Transformation, it's only $222. I kept it very affordable. So this can help you just build a foundation, and you can easily pick up some quick aha moments, some quick tips, and be on your way and work towards really crushing it in 2022. All right, thanks for listening. Also follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Thanks.